Rotted, it's day 30. It's day 30. Oh, glory. I make it 30 days in this thing. Well, if you know from the beginning, technically 33 days. Technically longer than that. Technically, nah, just 30 days. Look, um, been doing more research on certain foods, right? Thing I never knew. I didn't know that squash is also, in a sense, a GMO kind of food. Not squash, sweet potato. I want to be specific. Yeah, because squash, squash is like the whole family of them. It's a whole bunch of them. But sweet potato, talking about specifically, I know there are kinds of squash are evolved fruit. Sweet potato ain't like squash because sweet potato is a root. It's like a root-based plant. It's like a really fat root, and you eat the root. Tastes great. But microbes within the ground over, I guess, years and such, mixed with the squash and turned it into the sweet potato that we know and love. If if I'm remembering exactly what I was reading the right way. Anyways, the whole point of that is just to say that we can't use the word GMO as something that means processed. Processed and GMO aren't the same terms, because in a sense our food genetically modifies itself. Now what we're talking about when we get angry at GMOs, GMO food, is when they're genetically modifying the food unnaturally through synthetic processes that cause the food to not be able to bear. When you do it the old-fashioned farmers, like the way agriculture was done from way back in the day, it's a safer process because it's like breeding dogs. They already have to be a dog in order for you to make the two different breeds create this mixed breed or whatever. And that will hopefully ensure that that mixed breed will also be able to continue to breed itself. So that's where science can be safe. It's a very simple method. Can the fruit reproduce itself in the simplest of natural conditions? Or do I gotta be on it, throwing things on it, pissing on it, doing all type of fuckery on it, shitting on it, just to make it grow? You know what I'm saying? Adding fish DNA, adding all these things just to make it grow. Oh, because the seasons weren't already long enough, no? Well, yeah. So that's just my little views so far in terms of more research that I've done. But that was just research specifically that I was doing on squash. I know it's on the list, but I know that potatoes, not all potatoes, are grown in the same natural fashion. So sometimes you only can stick with the original or the red potato, which is close to the original potato. But there's a lot of other potatoes you can fuck with too. So yeah, this movement, to be honest, has been going on in the States forever. Because you have to think about it like this: from the inception of the individuals who really popularized this diet, it's still been very quiet on the Canadian side. So what I'm doing is to really just, I guess, be a nail in the coffin. Not saying in the conversation, but in terms of just letting youths understand there is legitimately a better way to eat that doesn't require even meat at all. I get a lot of people say you can eat these kinds of meats, but you have to look at this very straightforward. I think of however the original person was eating, They weren't cooking their food. They were scavenging and looking and farming. Just simple ways of repeating what nature had already shown them. Even other mammals that have similar teeth structures to our own are herbivores. People will talk about certain chimps that eat meat. Those are in very extreme situations. So the same thing. And humans eat meat in very extreme situations. The Eskimos, they eat raw meat. The Eskimos literally live up in the middle of the Arctic eating raw meat. And their stomachs digest the amount of nutrients from these animals that are eating it through plankton and all these things in the water that aren't accessible on land because most of the place is fucking frozen at certain times throughout the year. They get their nutrients to survive through that. Just like astronauts, when they're in space, they drink all these processed and crazy types of food because that's all they can afford to literally carry with them, because it's like $1 million per pound just to fly a spaceship. It's really expensive, so the food got to be compact, processed, sucked out, no air, no everything, just done in a specific way. But that doesn't mean you in your natural habitat, you on this planet, you being able to have access to literally every corner of the planet in terms of your grocery store, in terms of being in a first world nation, should be eating like people who are in stringent conditions, and then wonder why you get sick. How are you in the healthiest place on the planet and you're still getting sick? Because you're eating like shit. So for me, I'm 30 days into this thing. I've had a lot of time to think about it. I've had a lot of time to research about it. I have a lot of time to feel about it, to literally eat and see how I feel. And damn, it's going to be really hard pressed for me to break this habit to go back into eating the way I was. It'll be impossible for me to go back to eating the way I was. I guess the question now is, how am I going to eat after these last 10 days? How am I going to eat moving forward? And how would I encourage other people to eat when we have these conversations? First thing I could just say in terms of encouraging other people to eat, listen to your body. Listen to your body more than anybody. Listen to your body. But you can't listen to your body if your body's already on pure. Meaning that you got a bunch of fat cells all over your body. There ain't nothing to listen to. Get rid of the fat. Very simple. The fat literally restricts blood flow. The fat literally restricts insulin intake. So that's why a lot of people get diabetes. A lot of people get all type of fucked up things from just having too many fat cells. You lose the fat cells, you lose the diabetes, you get healthy, your heart rate normalizes, all these great things. Okay, so just generally get yourself into healthy mode. Okay, and after that, maybe do a detox. There's so many out there. Research and figure out for your body type, for the situation, for your lifestyle, for your work environment. Like I'm at work right now. So whether I got makeup, a lot of girls got to wear makeup and all these things, and certain things block their pore, make the skin breathe. You got to think of the whole process. You can't just jump into something like this when you've been on a regimen of processed. You don't understand the amount of nutrients you get with the bullshit when you're eating processed food. So to transfer over, like, it just makes everything fucked. But anyways, this video's like too long and my computer is about to tell me too much space. Not enough space. So I'm out. Bye.